Hi, I'm Gary Molina. I'm living here in Milan, Italy, and I am working here for more than 12 years now. I came here as a tourist, but right after my visa, I applied for the permanent residence here in Italy. Then luckily I was granted for that residence in Italy after 5 years of stay here in Italy. I arrived here in Italy since 2008, last quarter of 2008. So it was very hard for me to adjust. Especially during my first time here, I did not have any kind of papers. I did not have kind of documents to stay here in Italy. But luckily, after 5 years, the government of Italy granted me a permanent of stay here in Italy. Then uh, my first work here was it was what do you call this one, the domestic helper with a private family. And it was very hard for me to adjust because I was not very familiar with the work of domestic works, something like cleaning the house, uh, cooking the foods of my employer, and something like that. So it was very hard for me to adjust during that time. Then after that, I decided to go to school for a certification of getting a better job here in Italy. So luckily, after the schooling, I got the certification for the better job. Then right now we got what do you call this one, a good business with my wife. Uh, we got what do you call this one, the business permit to operate as a tax tax assistance office. We are because in reality we are under the we are under the what do you call this one, we are under the supervision of the government, or what shall we say it, under the contract, uh, under the contract of the government. So we were designated to as a office to file some income tax returns. We have this bonus of the family, regarding regarding the application of bonus of family to those who has children here in Italy, strangers here in Italy who has a family with a regular what do you call this one, with a regular with a regular work or regular tax they are paying. So if if you were to rate your current living condition in a scale of 1 to 5, well, you know, my current condition here in Italy is shall I say it 4, because you know I say it 4 because you know it's very hard to have a living here in Italy, because you know Milan is one of the highest condition to pay for the cost of living here in Milan, especially clothes, especially foods. It is very high. And you know, oh, it's very cold here, you know. uh, so the current condition that I scale here in Italy is 4. So it's a good one, you know, regarding to food, regarding clothings, regarding to housing, regarding to the benefits coming from the government. You know, it's a they are all very good, and they are all very much precise regarding to the bonuses of of the family who are paying their taxes here in Italy. Um, so that is the economical aspect of the current condition of my condition here in Italy. And regarding the regarding the aspect of economic condition, you know, nobody is poor here. As long as you work, you are good. You know, nobody is poor here in Italy. You can buy everything you want. You can buy everyone to eat. You can buy everything you want to use. You can even buy a car. You can even buy a house if you can afford it. So I think number 4 condition of this rating is very good. So we go now to the what motivated you to work overseas. You know, it is not that the motivation, but it is only just what do you call this one, the it is not a motivation really. It is the, because you know, when I saw some of my friends coming from abroad, I was wondering what was their work, what is the condition, so I came here only just for curiosity, you know, but because not for anything else, you know. There in the Philippines, I have money, I have work, I have properties, I have a very good state of life in the Philippines, but because of curiosity, you know, I came here in Italy. So but when I saw the condition here in Italy, it was 100% more advanced here in Italy, especially when it comes to food, to clothing, to the condition, to the health condition of people here. It is very good. So that is why I prefer stay here in Italy, because you know, I can do everything I want, as long as it is permitted by the government. So you know, the condition here is very good. The motivation of coming here is not that kind of because of lack of work, of lack of money. It was only just you know, curiosity. So that is why I arrived here in Italy, because of curiosity. So when I came to realize it is better for me, especially for my health, especially for my family, to stay here in Italy, in the city of Milan. And where in reality I have we go now to the next step. So were you culture shock when you first arrived? You know, culture shock is not the thing for me, in the sense that I was not I was not able to feel like something like culture shock, because you know, I am the type of person that I can easily adjust, or manage, that can easily adjust the environment where I am now. And you know, my difficulty was just only for the studying of the culture of the Italians, their language, their food. Because you know, my first, as I have said a while ago, my first work here was a domestic helper. So that is why I was very hard to adjust myself for their culture, for the kind of food, because I was cooking for the kind of food. So that's why I was very shocked with this kind of work. It's not the culture shock, but it was a work shock. You know, work, yung sa trabaho, the work shock of this during that time, because it was my first time here in Italy. And where in reality, when I arrived here in Italy, it was nowhere to go, in the sense that I do not have even somebody, or some what do you call this one, some some of my cousins or parents or sisters or brother here in Italy. I came here alone, in the sense that I did not know somebody when I came here in Italy. That is why it was not that culture shock, but instead it was a lonely shock. It was a work shock. It was a, what do you call this one? The culture shock is not very hard for me to adjust. And we go to the next part. So for you, what's the hardest challenge for LFW? You know, everything is very hard, especially the adjustment. You know, the adjustment here in Italy, especially when you were alone. That was my very hardest challenge, to adjust, to get somebody whom, you know, when I arrived here in Italy, I slept at the central station of Milan for more than 3 days, until one day a Filipino came to me asking why I am always there. So I told them my situation. Then after that, they bring me to their house. They helped me. Where in reality, this person who helped me before was I did not know them. I did not know them. So it was very hard for me. It was this was the challenges. It was I came here alone, not knowing anybody here in Italy. You know, in connection to number 7, how did you overcome it? You know, the hardest challenge for OFW, you know, it is not that immediately on that day when I came here in Italy. It is not that easy to adjust. It is not that easy to overcome. You know, I overcome by means of looking for a new job, looking for a new friends, especially Filipinos, you know. And you know, most especially I just calm myself down to earth, you know, because I was alone here in Italy. It was very hard for me, you know. Overcome means it is little by little, day by day, that you can overcome everything, you know. It's not that kind of it's not that kind of immediately that you can overcome. It's not, you know, if I'm going to count days or years, it is more than 5 years I overcome to this what do you call this one, hardest challenge in my life. That like what the challenges I've mentioned a while ago. So let's go now to the next part. What are the perks, good side, the rewarding part of being an OFW? You know, as what I have told a while ago, what are the perks? You know, the negative side of coming here in Italy, most especially, is broken family. That is number 1. Number 2, you miss everything. You become lonely. You know, there is a shockness. Become lonely and become you know, you think of everything. Loneliness, you know, it's very hard. And you know, and the good side of coming here in Italy is you have that a better situation, you know, especially here in Milan. You know, the government of Italy help strangers who come here in Milan, even though they do not have works, unlike in other countries. You know, talking about Milan, where I am living now, it is you know, it is very good country to live in. This is the good side of being a OFW here in Milan. You know, the government give you, as long as you are doing good, the government give you work, the government to give you benefits. If you have the family here, the government will give allowances to the children. The government give free education, elementary and high school education to the government will give this kind of free education to these children. If you have children here, you know, as long as you are paying your taxes here in Italy, and the work condition here in Italy is very good, as long as you use your brain, or your what do you call this one, your common sense of being a worker here in Italy. So you know, there's a lot of positive things here in Italy as a worker, and the rewarding part of being a FW is that you know, for me is all about the health. It is all about the health. You know, the health is very important for me. Even though I have a little money, as long as I have a good health, for me, I am a rich person. That is my reward as a part of being a OFW. And giving a chance, would you rather, let's go to the last part, given to the chance, would you rather work in the Philippines or stay your current job? Thank you for your time and appreciation. You know, given the chance, of course, if given the chance, why should I go out to in my own country? As long as I have a good work, as long I have well, anyway, I have a good work there before, and I have a money also. I have properties also. But the best the best benefit is a good health. You know, the food here is good, the weather here is good, and it is a free country. You know, so giving the chance, you know, with our current situation there in the Philippines, comparing to the current situation here in Italy, where I am working now, you know, I prefer to choose Italy, because